All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking about real music in real time for a few real people out there, just like you right there, and just like me right here. So, I'm going to be talking about Heart, a little bit of breaking news about Heart, and stuff I kind of predicted a little bit. So, before I do that, though, I got this in the mail yesterday. It was like 100 where I live. And when I pulled this out of the mailbox, I was rescuing it from a microwave oven situation. This is West Alley. This came all the way from Germany. So it's called A Night to Remember, another AOR West Coast offering from the people, the fine folks over at Pride and Joy Music. Um, I was browsing through their catalog and then I went and sampled this and I liked it. I think I shared a song with patrons. If I didn't, I'll have to do that. I forget sometimes. And you know what else was cool, right? I got this little pamphlet and it has all the stuff that they're putting out there. This just brought me back to the days of the Columbia Record and Tape Club. You get your shipment, and then, of course, there'd be the booklet, the amazing booklet that you would browse through for hours. And you just look at, okay, do I want to buy this? Do I want to get, and you have to, meet your membership requirements. You have to buy so many albums in a certain period of time at full price, but you got your 12 introductory albums for a penny. It's just, there's like a secret box in the back of the ordering form, right? And if you found that secret box, you could fill in another one. Like I was only supposed to get 11, but I got 12 albums for free. And when that box showed up, my mother was so ticked off at me because just like it was better than a birthday for me. I'm just ripping through the cardboard trying to get to those albums. Just good memories. That's all. And so when I got this brochure, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna stare at this brochure for like an hour or two. Anyway, so Heart is out there, but unfortunately they're canceling tour dates. So this is kind of bad news. And I said early on that this tour was going to be rough. And here are the details. So Heart cancels tour dates for Ann Wilson's medical procedure. And this is pretty much everywhere. You can find this story if you just Google it. So Heart has canceled the upcoming European leg of their Royal Flush tour. I'm not too big on the name Royal Flush. Kind of sounds like flushing a toilet, maybe. I know a Royal Flush is a good hand, right? If you have a Royal Flush, if you play poker, right? So this is for singer Ann Wilson. So she can recover from a time sensitive but routine medical procedure written much like a corporation would write it. All right. Time sensitive but routine. So, in other words, they don't want you to worry about Anne, but she needs to do this right away. So it's a conflicting message. So if it was routine, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it could be done after the tour, but it's time sensitive. So she needs to do it right away. The band was slated to visit Europe from June 20th through July the 12th, performing at a handful of festivals and headlining shows with the support from Squeeze. They're putting anybody together now. And look, Squeeze and Heart, yeah, there's a little crossover audience there, but you'd expect like Squeeze and Elvis Costello, something like that, but that's okay. Squeeze, a fantastic band. I would go see Squeeze. They are still sounding good even now. But this is the official announcement. We regret to inform you that all upcoming Heart performances in Europe are canceled. In late May, Ann Wilson, again, will undergo a time-sensitive but routine medical procedure for which the minimum recovery time is 6 weeks. That doesn't sound all that routine. But again, I'm just reading what's being written here and thinking and saying, okay, 6 weeks. I guess that's not so bad, but it is certainly going to cancel a number of concerts here. Hart deeply regrets this unfortunate circumstance and hopes to return to Europe soon. So are they going to go back to Europe? That's interesting. Refunds will be available at the point of purchase as applicable. Wilson shared the news on her personal Facebook page and assured fans, I'm okay. Please don't worry. I do apologize for any inconvenience this may cause. It's certainly an inconvenience for me. Love and respect always, Anne. So, early on, before this tour started, I did a video about how this is going to be a rough tour. These two ladies are in their 70s. My thesis on Heart is they just waited too long. Last time they went out on the road was 2019. And then they kind of argued back and forth about what Heart should be going forward. I'm thinking to myself, why even have a conversation about this? You guys are definitely toward the end of your career. Trot out all the hits, do as many hits as you can, maybe do a couple of deeper tracks for the real hardcore fans. And you should have been out there like 3 or 4 years ago. Now, I understand there was that little pandemic thing that came along. The thing itself came along, and I think the ladies were trying to tour by themselves during that time frame, or a little bit after the scariness wore off, or at least the media scaring people. But they still debated publicly, should Heart be, a revamped Seattle grunge band, or should it pay homage to their classic hits? Well, duh. I think Nancy had it right. I think Anne wanted to do something different. I think she wanted to reinvent the wheel, which, quite frankly, I don't understand at this stage of their career. And I believe that delay really hurt this band. I mean, again, they're not spring chickens out there. And vocally, some of these songs are kind of difficult. And there are only a few older people, freaks of nature, watching Eric Clapton do his gigs. It's just mind-blowing. 79 years old, and he's killing it out there. John Anderson is another guy from Yes, formerly of Yes, I should say. Holy crap, Batman. I mean, that guy still sings like he did back in the 70s. There's really nothing all that different about John Anderson. And they don't tune things down for John. Mickey Thomas is another guy, even though he fired his cohort there, Stephanie, a couple of years back, or told her to hit the road because she wouldn't take the safe and effective product. True story. There is an interview somewhere that I did with her, Stephanie Calvert. Anyway, there are a few people out there that are still killing it. Heart is okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, from what I've seen, maybe a 6, maybe a 7, depending on the song. And they are doing a lot of their classic hits, obviously, but they are omitting a few. And I think really, I can't imagine Heart going out for another tour. They might fool me. A lot of times, once the band sees how much money they can earn, they say, you know what, we can do this again. We can definitely do this next year. But touring is rough. The traveling is rough. You're probably going to get sick on the road because, people are carrying germs, and, not deadly germs, not things that you have to worry about that will kill you, but, just I'm going to get sick probably, and I'm not going to be able to sing, or I'm going to have to cancel dates. Bruce Springsteen is another example. He just canceled some shows because of vocal issues. I mean, rock and roll was never really designed for people when they got over a certain age. And that age differs from person to person. But you can kind of just see what's going on out there. Either someone can't do what they used to do and people are pretending they can, or they decide, hey, you know what? I'm just going to stop touring. Foreigner was supposed to do that. Remember, Foreigner said, yeah, we've got to stop before we can't do this anymore. And guess what's going to happen? they're going to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So typically bands do huge tours the year after they get into the Hall of Fame. And I would imagine Foreigner next year is going to be selling out pretty large arenas, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees, Foreigner, and they're not going to have any original members in the group. And people are going to go and pay for that. They're going to go see them. And I have mixed feelings on that. It does have Mick Jones's blessing, but in the case of Heart, I don't think you can replace Ann or Nancy for that matter. And I think this probably should be the last tour they do, but we'll see what happens. You know, I always say, hey, I can't believe Lynyrd Skynyrd is going out there again. And now they're more enthusiastic than they were last year. And so for the fans of that music, I guess you keep the momentum going and you keep the music alive. So anyway, we wish Ann Wilson well, right? We hope that she recovers from whatever this procedure is. 6 weeks to recover, and she's back out on the road this summer. But we're into what? Late May, almost June now. So that's like half the summer, 6 weeks. It is. I mean, just look at your calendar and figure it out. It's about half the summer. All right. So one more time for this band here, West Alley, A Night to Remember, as they do that West Coast thing, that Toto-esque sound, but there are other bands that you could probably cross-reference with this, and I think you'll really enjoy it. And if you don't, you could just forget about it, right? Courtesy of Pride and Joy Music. Also, don't forget my friends over at Modern Retro Radio, modernretroradio.com. Great radio station playing new music. I mean, I have the top 5 here. So Ringo Starr, Lenny Kravitz. Actually, do I have the whole thing? John Mellencamp. Living Colors, Corey Glover, band called Sonic Universe. Susie Quattro and KT Tunstall. Okay, those are the top 5 songs. So these guys, they find music by older people, older artists that can't get the time of day on corporate radio anymore. And that's why I love the radio station, even if you are, you know, just not into every song they put out there, because they throw it all out there. It's an interesting format, but you will hear things that you won't hear anywhere else, and you'll get an education just by listening for a little while. And that's the sign of a quality radio station. Again, modernretroradio.com. They've been very supportive of me over the years, and I appreciate them, and I hope you will too. God bless everyone. Please pray for peace in the Middle East. Some crazy things going on over there. I don't care what side of this issue people are on. War is a bad thing. Can we just say that maybe we should shoot for peace instead of shooting for war all the time and just shooting in general? Stop the shooting. Put the guns down and let's talk things out and see if we can come to some kind of a conclusion here, some kind of a concession, whatever I'm trying to say. Anyway, folks, God bless you all, and I will talk to you soon.